Hi everyone, welcome back to Blonde Vibrations. Today we're tuning in with Eloise.
Hi.
Thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Your hair looks really nice in these
Thank
lights.
you, and it's blonde. So
Yeah, you're more blonde than me. So
Yes.
thanks so much for bringing the energy
I
where
fit
I
the
could.
vibes. Yeah.
No, we had a meeting the other day and they were like, so the name, like, feel like
Yeah.
it's the elephant in the room of like, but where's the blonde?
There's
like, I
no
was
blonde
expecting
going on.
two blondes to come
I
in.
didn't think so,
But
yeah.
Yeah.
I don't. It's a personal topic. I don't want to talk about where the blonde went.
Yeah.
I just woke up one day and she was gone. It just
It's on the
she ran
end.
away from me.
It's clinging into place.
It's truly on the ends, like that is.
Yeah. Oh no, it literally is, yeah.
It's
That
there.
is its problem.
It's on
Let's
its
not
way
draw
out.
attention to it, guys. I know I'm not blonde.
Yeah.
But I am not being kicked off yet. So
Yeah.
if you want to take my place at some point, feel free.
Perfect. Yeah, I'm committed to the peroxide, so I'm on that. I'm on the blonde. I got it covered.
It's full jealousy, like it truly is. But I'm really happy for you.
Thank you.
So happy.
Yeah.
So to start off, we kind of wanted to talk about the steps taken to get you where you are today. Because although, and we didn't say this in like the free bit, by the time this episode comes out, you would have announced your second album.
Oh my gosh,
So,
yay!
well, like right now it feels really weird to talk about it because
it's
kind of top
unannounced.
secret.
Yeah.
Everyone will know the news by now.
I
so I think it's really
know.
exciting to kind of look at the steps
Yeah.
to get there.
To get to this album or career in general?
Ooh,
All of the above.
yeah.
All of the above. How long do you have? Well, basically, I went to the Brit school. It's like that part is Taylor's oldest time. And
The amount of Brit school
Yeah.
like alumni that we've had on the show is crazy.
I
yeah,
kind of feel like we went to Brit school now by how many people
Yeah.
like told us about it. Like
you
I feel like I'm
basically know the layout
parasocial.
because, yeah, exactly. I know. Yeah, so I went there for sixth form. And then after the first year, I sort of got to a point where I was like, if I don't set up something that can continue when I finish, then I'm just going to like graduate and be like, okay, now what? So I made a music Instagram because that's what was happening then, not TikTok. And just did like a cover a day or whatever, or like some of my stuff, all terribly filmed and whatever. But that wasn't, the goal was just to basically have a portfolio.
You have to start somewhere.
Yeah, exactly. And then I think the third cover I did was of a guy called Bruno Major's song. And he saw it the next day. And then like I sang at his show later on that week, which I already had tickets to. And then I dropped out like about a month later. And his manager is now also my manager. And we just toured America and some of Europe. So it was like very 0 to 100. I was like 17. And then I was on a plane to Seattle and then we were off.
You're Hannah Montana.
Literally, yeah. It was a bit less glam because it was in like a splitter van with just men and me, but it was really amazing. And that's like, Bruno is also the person who produced all my music up until my first album. So like, I then became a recording artist, which I hadn't been up until that point. So yeah.
Because we were kind of thinking about, the fig tree. Do you know about this?
No.
Okay. I'm going to try and do a brief explanation, but
Go on, pop culture.
you're probably better. The fig tree of your life is all of the different branches that you could have taken and kind of career paths.
Oh yeah.
So if you were to think of your creativity as this fig tree,
Mm-hmm.
do you kind of remember the moment you started climbing one branch of music, or was it kind of from childhood always something that you wanted to do?
I always wanted to, well, I always sang. I didn't really know it was a job you could do. I have creative parents, but I just was like, I've never seen a singer. I've seen like actors and whatever. But there was a moment when I moved back from France, because I grew up there from 3 to 10 or 11. When I came back, I then immediately, very randomly, was part of this film. And I was one of the leading people in this film that we made. And then at the end of the process, I got invited to like write some of the music with the person who was in charge of writing the soundtrack, who happened to be Damon Albarn. And then
As it is.
no, and I also like didn't know, because I was like from rural France at that point. Like I had no idea of any pop culture, so I was like, okay, seems cool. And that, I remember when I was in the studio like singing for the soundtrack, I was like, I think this is actually it. And then from then on, it was like music. I just wouldn't stop. Like I learned the guitar and whatever. I already played piano, but I was like, I want to like keep learning everything about music.
Yeah.
apart from theory, which is unhelpful of me.
The theory side's the scariest part.
Yeah, I can
that
barely
is-
read in
yeah.
English, let alone in dots.
No,
You
that is
know?
hard work.
Yeah, exactly.
I remember a time where I could read music, and I just feel like that has entirely gone from me. Like, you know, when you don't, I
Yeah,
have no
it's a
reason
muscle.
to revise it.
Yeah.
It's just gone.
Like how we prepare for an interview, just like reading music notes.
Yeah.
Sheet music.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
don't quite have to do that. Imagine that our interview cards are actually just music notes.
That's
It's like,
literally what it is.
yeah.
Some people sight read. Some people are out there presented with music that they've never read before and they play it. Because I'm like okay with the notes. It's just like the time values of every single, all of that like minims and quavers.
I really struggle with that. I've recently gotten down, and this probably is so boring to you because this is actually your life. I've gotten down this rabbit hole of, have you seen, how do I describe this? Those TikToks where it's like the notes and it's practicing the speeds of notes. So it'll be like a
No.
bunch of like,
What side of TikTok are you on?
I was going to
I
say,
know, I think it's kind of like, have you seen, so like getting down a rabbit hole already. Have you seen those TikToks where you have to say the words really quickly?
Dog,
So it's
dog,
like,
mat, yeah.
It's kind of like that, but for music notes.
Oh.
And because I used, like dropping a lot, because I used to do music, I find it really fun to like try and practice if I can do it, but that was always my weak spot.
Yeah.
And now I know it's because I have ADHD. It's like their timings are just like I can't.
oh
fathom the timings of
really?
the notes,
That's
but I find
very
it really
interesting. Yeah, that is.
So music
when you have
theory
the
is hard.
answers like that and you're like, oh, it's because of this, then that checks out. And
it's
that makes
like, what
total
is half a
sense.
second?
Yeah.
But like I appreciate the music theory
Yeah,
bit.
absolutely.
Because as I was playing these, I was like, this is really hard.
Yeah.
Like I don't know how I got that far in my
I
theory.
feel so. This is such an.
I'll show you them later.
Yeah.
Like, what's happening? What's
Yeah.
going on?
I'm gonna have to show you guys though, because now I feel like I'm making it up.
No,
I
I'm
thought they were a
buying it.
big
I'm
thing, and
buying it.
I also kind of thought that as a musician, like that was your For You page.
It's too
No,
believable to be
my
alive.
For You page has basically got nothing to do with music.
That's nice, though. It's
like
escapism.
people falling over or cooking videos or like Sunday cleaning videos. Genuinely, that's it. There's barely any music. You'd
Not the
never
people-
know.
Not the people falling over, but like cleaning. That's quite peaceful.
Cleaning is very peaceful, and it always I feel like my feed has become like day dependent. Like on Sundays, I get shown loads of like cooking and cleaning videos because that's
Sunday
the day where I'm like,
resets.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's day dependent. So because it also knows when it's Friday night and I'm a bit pissed and I come back home like drunk, it will show me like funny videos, and I'll be like,
That's like the funniest thing I've ever seen.
yeah. Watching in the morning is not funny.
To circle back onto what we were
Yeah.
before I derailed the whole conversation.
Anyway.
In this kind of fig tree analogy of like
Hmm.
different paths you could have taken, I guess acting would be one.
Yeah.
Can you think of any others, or was it so
No,
clear
I'm
on
not
just
good
music
at-
the whole time?
I'm terrible at everything that's not like creative.
Yeah.
And even within creativity, I'm bad at most things in that. Like I can't paint. I'm just not good at stuff that's not. I'm not even confident I was a good actor, but I know that I can do music because I know that because it doesn't require thought to do it. And that's I guess, then you're intrinsically like you have that talent. And I'm okay with saying that because I'm literally rubbish at every single other thing in the world.
Well, that's because all the magic's gone into your music.
Yeah, all
That's
the attention and
why.
everything like that. Yeah.
Could you name any specific song or project that, looking back, was a turning point into you forming kind of who you are as a musician today?
Oh,
That's a really big question.
yeah, it is.
Go
I
for
think.
pages.
I mean, I think I have a song called Left Side from my first EP, and that song I remember putting it out. At the time, I had no way of knowing how people were going to receive me and my music out because that was the first time I was releasing. And Left Side is a structureless song. It's basically like 4 verses, no chorus, not even a refrain, and the term left side is used once in it, right? So it's not following any bias or patterns within songwriting rules. Snore. And I remember when that was the one that connected with people, that really informed me that I need to stay in touch with without having any bias of how to do things the proper way. And that changed the whole course of my career because it's meant that I felt really free to write either by the books or be like, I'm just going to have like a 1 minute song. I'm not going to call it an interlude. It's a full song because I've said what I need to say in that minute or whatever. So that was like a real moment, was seeing how well people took that song that I thought they might just roll over.
Yeah.
I feel like that goes back to the fact that music was supposed to be your calling. Because if you're able to kind of throw away the playbook of what a song is supposed to sound like and still make it into something, it shows that that's what you were meant to do.
Yeah, and I also think, like, you know, we think the reason I roll my eyes at the rules thing is like, okay, well, tell that to Bohemian Rhapsody. What rule is that following? It's like a 10-minute song, first of all. There's no chorus, there's no refrain, and it's a masterpiece. And every single person in every single place around the world, no matter how drunk or sober, knows every single bit to it. It's not catchy, technically. So, like, why do you need to follow any rules? I don't really understand.
I think the songs that break the rules as well are the ones that will stick more.
Yeah.
And like the music industry would hate to hear that. It's like the more unique and the more ultimately different.
Yeah.
I do feel like it makes more of an impact. We always go back to Ray Genesis and how that was like what her single that was just kind of out of nowhere.
Yeah.
That was in 6 parts.
Yeah.
Right?
3 parts.
3 parts.
Yeah.
Doubling it.
Well, it had parts.
Yeah, that's how I normally do it.
Yeah.
So it's like, well, if you break that pattern,
Yeah.
and I also think maybe it keeps creativity a bit more alive because you're not forcing yourself to do things that typically would be more fluid.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And do it in a formulaic way.
I just think most of my job, as I've done it now, you know, I've done it 10 years now. Most of my job, musically speaking, is to like stop thinking and like be really in tune with the part of me that is like the child. And I've seen so many different, you know, fridge magnet versions of saying that, way better than I just put it. But it is all about keeping the like child creative in you like awake and keep them making the decisions, because I've only grown more self-conscious as a person as I've gotten older. I wish I was as carefree as little me was. And that applies to music as well. That applies to everything. So I'd like to just be living my life for her. Do you know what I mean?
We're big fans of the inner child.
Yeah.
I feel like everything we do is like...
Yeah.
Look at the background, look at the mics. It's all
Yeah,
the inner
yeah,
child,
yeah.
it's big.
Yeah.
I definitely... And I think that's how you can kind of keep that joy and creativity when everything's so...
It's also a compass, I think.
tense.
When you start being like pulled in different directions, it like keeps you solid. It's like that's a fact who I used to be. It's not an idea of a person. I know what to strive towards because I've been it, you know, and I felt it, so I know when I will feel it again.
Yeah, I love that.
Oh, just saying the exact same words as you. So we're going through the journey of your career. Something that we wanted to touch on was the live vocals you did for Billie Eilish.
Yes.
The Amazon Music performance. How does it feel to step into someone else's musical world? Did it kind of alter your own creative approach at all?
It's funny. I don't think it altered my creative approach, but I think it was really... There's very rarely situations where like I'm going to sing where I've not got my band or whatever. So it's actually quite fun. Like, it's been years since I went on tour with Bruno because I was in his band as well. I really like the lack of pressure. Like, you're there to help someone else's vision. I also love harmonies. Like, one of my favorite parts of recording is stacking like vocal harmonies. So when I got to go and do that, it was kind of like, great. So I get to support this incredible artist. I get to be in her orbit and we can learn some really fun harmonies and like make a cool thing. It was amazing. But I don't think it like changed my creativity, but it definitely made me think like things work so differently for her. Like her team and everything, they're all like, it's a well-oiled machine. It's like, it's really impressive. Like everything about her and the Empire is impressive.
Something about the harmonies in that video, like you're saying, is just, I've watched it so many times.
Yeah.
And it's one of her favorite videos
Yeah.
ever. But like before all of this, like we're not saying this to like pick you
Yeah,
up.
no,
Like,
right.
No, it's just something about the way that I think she really steps up to the game with emotion, just
yeah,
truly
she
in her
really
voice.
does. Yeah,
And you do a similar thing, so it's not surprising the way that you guys can like seamlessly blend together.
Yeah, and I also think like she's just like a proper professional, like super impressive, super talented, super kind. I wanted one thing to not like line up. Like I was like, maybe be mean or something, and then I can.
Actually, tell me my harmonies are wrong.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Just, like,
but no,
she
was just lovely. She's like a proper normal person, but happens to be also Billie Eilish.
I
It was
love
amazing.
the process of individual musicians coming together like that. Like, I think, you know, even like if I think about Harry Styles' Love on Tour and how he's got he'll see a musician like Maddie Diaz, right? I don't think she was on the Love on Tour band, but she's been in his band before, and I think it's interesting the way that he'll see an artist he likes and it's like, can I invite you to come play with me? Like, can you do a support slot at some point? Like, I think that's really interesting, the idea of collaborating with other artists on your own music. And I think this is so random, but we were saying it as we were planning this, our Blonde Vibrations alumni, Josie Mann, do you know her?
Yes.
She sang backing vocals for Suki Waterhouse
Oh,
at her London headline. And that was so mind-blowing to us, because it was like, well, Josie has such a distinct sound, and it was like interesting to see her step into Suki's world, and you could still see personality shine through, and now and then we'd be like, oh, that's Josie. And you have that effect with Billie as well, and I just think it's so fascinating.
It comes down to like how the main artist makes you feel as well. Like if they make you feel like you are just a part, like a cog, then you're not going to shine through, because you're not feeling. It's not that you're not feeling encouraged to be yourself, but you're made aware of like you're just supporting. Whereas, you know, we're talking about two classy women who are like, this is important that you specifically are doing this, you know, so like let's have your character come through, like let's find a way to do that. And that's classy. That's what Billie did, that's clearly what Suki did, that's you know, that's amazing.
If you had to pick 2 or 3 artists, regardless of how big they are or how realistic it is to sing backing vocals on your new project,
sing for me backing vocals.
If you could do this.
Oh my gosh.
And it can be wild, like you can go crazy with it.
I don't know, because they'd have to be like quite monitor. I feel like if backing vocals are really hard, because if you got someone like Ray, I'd be just like outsung, and then I'd get competitive.
But also, you could really like be like, Ray, you have to do it exactly like this.
Yeah, exactly. And then I'm like, I don't want to tell these pros how to do it.
Like dim her sparkle.
Yeah, God, I really don't know, because I'm now having to think about any like artist.
Putting you on the spot.
I'd love John Mayer would be really sick. I just love him.
Yeah. And that would be someone who would bring their own. Yeah,
he'd bring in.
Like, he's not your double.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm thinking. Go really far the other way. Maybe Anderson .Paak.
Oh, I love
I think like those two, they've got enough husk, and they could do it, and they're really musical, so great.
I love that.
I want to live in a world where that happens. So
you and me both.
Like, how can we make that happen right this second?
I don't.
With no connections on our
I
side.
don't know. Let's just manifest real hard.
yeah, we'll manifest.
Absolutely.
So we're gonna go on to the agony aunt section. You had so many submissions. So it was crazy.
Aww.
Power to your listeners, like they're going through some stuff, like sending them love.
They are, bless them. They are always going through stuff. I'm always putting music out, and people are being like, just in time for my breakup. I'm like, how many breakups is everyone going through?
We had a few comments like that.
Yeah.
Okay, number 1. Eloise.
Yes.
I'm such a huge fan, and I've always admired your sense of style and just the way you carry yourself. I've been on a journey to being more confident, and I feel like I've been doing a great job so far. However, there's still times where I feel insecure. What is your advice to girls trying to feel more secure and confident in themselves?
My advice from my experience is actually, I had a lot of trouble where I was like comparing myself to other women. It was not a lot to do with men's perception of me. And the reason that I started to feel better is I would hang out with more women and fall more in love with them. And just like, I think when you get out of this pattern of comparison, and that's where the confidence starts to come through. So I think it's kind of like exposure therapy. I just think that like I'm not going to go down the route of like, oh, fuck them if they say bad things about you or whatever. But I just do think like you can surround yourself with goodies and go and do things alone that make you feel good, and then you make a good concrete foundation in yourself.
Yeah. It almost is like fake it till you make it as well.
Yeah,
like,
and I also think it ebbs and flows. I think, you might feel that for 1 month and then be like, oh, I've fallen off course. But it's like you become different versions of yourself as you go through life. So like you're going to have to get comfortable with each of those versions. That's kind of like the mission.
I had this moment a couple months ago, and it's such a basic thought, but I said, if I criticize myself for X, then anyone who's ever done that, I'm then criticizing them as well. And I think that's such like a simple thing, but I think it's really helpful to remind yourself when you're kind of feeling down, or when you pick at something of yourself that you're like, oh, I don't like that, and I'm not confident because of that, because there's so many other women who would share that feature or would do that thing. And I think if you find it hard to kind of be kind to yourself, it's like, well, maybe start at being kind with other people, kind of like what you were saying, of being like think about all the women you have in your lives who you admire, and like you wouldn't say that to them, so why would you say it to yourself? And that was sort of like a reminder to treat yourself how you treat other people, because I doubt this person's going around being like ugly.
No, exactly.
Like, you're not.
I know, and also I do think like I try and think about like how much of these like neuroses that I have, all of these things I think are not good about myself, how much of them come from me and how much of them come from people, and do I rate those people who have said that? Like if someone online says something mean to me, I'm like, well, I've literally never met this person. They might be the most horrible person, so who cares? Or it might be like a family member who like doesn't know you that well, doesn't really understand your world or your style or whatever that might be, but for some reason you just like held on to this like kind of jabby thing they said. When you start to separate, like I basically need to be listening to what I think about myself. If I came away from that conversation feeling like I was a bit rude, I'm going to text them being like, sorry, I was on bad form. But like if it's all coming from other people, your like insecurities, just try and separate the egg whites from the yolk.
I have a bit of I guess this is a very morbid, I can hold it if you'd like. I'll take it from here. A bit of a morbid approach to this. And I don't know if the word is nihilistic. I feel like that's popped into my head and like, and I don't know if it's actually the right. There's so many evil things in the world as a whole. Like the world is really not a good place. Like murder and very corrupt people. So sometimes I'll just look at myself in the mirror and be like, is your stomach really a problem? Or like, just at the smallest level, like, is what you look like that deep? Does it really matter?
Just zoom out.
Yeah, like when you are able and you're going to work and you're seeing people and you can do all of these things in a world that some people can't.
Yeah, exactly.
Or like, what's the problem with your legs or your hair or whatever?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And with that, you then become more secure.
Yeah.
I think so,
because like that's what you can control, is you can control how you feel about yourself, and you can't control everything outside.
Exactly. So. And like same goes for stuff you say, like if you're worried, if someone once told you like you always like stutter or you always like do it, because they're my biggest issues. Like someone will be like, you always take like a really long pause, or you always blah, blah, blah. And like then my biggest insecurities are conversationally way more than like looks or anything. That's ebbed and flowed, but like I think it applies to every type of insecurity.
I had a guy on a dating app once, thank you, who messaged me, and what was it? He asked something about the podcast, and I think he went to go listen to an episode, and he said to like literally did not ask. He was like, you say like too much, like you should try and not do that. And I think I responded something like, oh, just so you know, like that's actually quite sexist. Like there's a lot of research that's gone into why women say like so much, and it's to do with taking up space, etc. And I said it in a nice way, cited my sources, and then like I think I like unmatched him or reported him or whatever. And he then went onto the podcast account and sent in a voice message, because you could do that then, mimicking us. This was I'm now giving you an agony on. And he mimicked us.
I forgot about
and it's probably still there.
To you.
Yeah, he like submitted it as if it was like a dilemma. Just be like. It was wild.
Ew, sounds gross.
I know, how disgusting. And I think after that, I think I had that moment of just like, and what?
This
like,
Dumbo's opinion does not matter.
And I think sometimes you do need something that's so outrageous and so like bizarre that you kind of snap out of this idea of caring what people think, and you're just kind of like, oh, that's just an opinion. Like, that's crazy.
Opinions are like assholes. Everybody's got them.
Yeah. So you just have to laugh at them and just be like, actually. And I think with that, the small steps then make you feel more confident.
Exactly.
To just say like as many times as you want in a sentence.
This has felt like this feels like the talking stick at like a
it's the conch.
Okay, number 2. I've accidentally started dating my friend of 5 years. It went from casual to, okay, we aren't acting casual, but don't want to commit still. I've been writing all of these songs about how to communicate exactly how I'm feeling, but I'm not usually one to share until they're fully produced and perfect and the situation has passed. Do you ever share songs with the person they're about right away? And how do you usually go about that process? How is it usually received?
That's actually a good question, because it's always like a nightmare. Because sometimes, if the song is like really nice or whatever, then I'll show them immediately. I think in the past, I used to fib a little bit, because if I was with my boyfriend all the time and I wasn't ready to like actually have the conversation about the thing that the song's about, because, the place that songs come through from, it's like this really like overthinking personal place for me. I don't really write with anyone particularly, so like it's really insular, and I'm not always ready to like share those actual feelings. But if I'm spending loads of time and I don't, if they're like, what did you do today? I'm not going to lie and say I didn't write a song. I just won't go into detail about it. I mean, I wouldn't advise lie. I would just not say that you've done anything about them. You can just be like, I'm working on a bunch of music or whatever. I can't wait for you to hear it when I'm ready to show it to you. Blame it on your perfectionism of, how it sounds or whatever. But I really understand that. I still find it hard now with my man. It's just like, eventually, so there have been songs that I showed him like a year ago, and then like a year later he'll hear it again. He's like, are you sure that's not about me? I'll be like, yeah, that was about you. I wasn't ready to have that chat with you.
But then you are, so then you can say it at that point.
Yeah, exactly. But it's really difficult. I'm always, I've been in relationships since I was 13, like consistently, and I've always found that really difficult, because like, what am I going to write about? I only write about love, so it's always going to be about the boys.
We've definitely mentioned stories about people on the podcast before, and then we're like, at what point in the future will they stumble across that, and how's that going to be received? And it's like, but that is our version of events. Like, that is our story. We can say it.
Exactly. I mean, one thing I would say that you could do is like, if you do go down the lying route, just be like, it's about this film I watched the other day.
Oh, that's a good one.
I used to be like, I just like wrote down this quote from this thing because I just thought that's such a sick thing to write about, and I got such bad writer's block at the moment because I'm too happy with you to write anything.
Because it can still open up a conversation.
Yeah.
If like...
it might actually lead to the conversation.
Yeah.
You might be like, because I think that's really shitty to do, and they might be like, I don't. And you're like, well, come to think of it, we should talk.
Yeah. It's like, well, actually, you did that.
Yeah.
As well, so different.
Yeah, exactly.
But,
I think it must be hard for both the person who sent this in, but also you, and having like songwriting is such a vulnerable but like a good space for you to get out how you feel, but at the same time have that be a thing that for the most part is being made to be consumed. And
exactly.
I don't envy that space.
You have to just separate it, because if I've put out songs that are a bit like touchy to some people and whatever, as in people in my life. You just have to separate it. It's like, what, am I not going to put out a good song? That is the way it works. You know, like Amy Winehouse has that song where she's like absolutely rinsing her boyfriend, being like basically saying like he's a shit shag and like whatever, that he's a baby. Or is it Stronger Than Me? It's like she might not have been like over the moon to put that out, but she was like, it's good though by mistake. So this guy's clearly got to hear it.
Yeah, absolutely. I like the idea of like it's still your story to tell.
Yeah.
I so feel that sometimes I'll say, well, Hinge boy, like I'll always say like a bit of gossip, and I'm like, oh, like that's now on the internet forever. But I'm like, but at the same time, it's my own thing. So I can spread the truth about as many people as I want.
Yeah.
Because it's just as much mine.
Exactly. Yeah. And good luck to the fact that you're dating your friend of 5 years.
Well, that could be lovely. because you know each other so well that you're actually like accepting each other, I guess.
So maybe this won't be as bad as you think.
Yeah.
Because if you've known each other 5 years and you've built a friendship,
They'll be used to it. They'll have heard songs about, they'll already know that you've written songs about them.
Yeah.
If you've been mates that long.
yeah. Good luck.
Yeah, good luck.
I feel like we've had a lot of artists on tuning in, yet your one is like, I feel so sad that we can't get around to everyone's, because there's been some real people who need your help.
I know, I'd love to help. I mean, all I could do is keep writing music and hopefully it taps into their niche of a situation they're going through.
And in another life, we could do a 4-hour episode where you're literally just
we just go through them, bosh.
every single one.
Yeah.
Oh, I'd love that.
So we're going to talk about your album a little bit more as we kind of going down this pathway of the stages that got you here. Did it begin as a destination you were writing towards, or did it feel like it kind of came into fruition around you?
I don't think I'm ever like, I need to write an EP or I need to write an album. I just write. And then there is like a natural moment when like I've reached my I'll have written something and been like, I feel like that was a chapter closer. Like I just wrote something. And then you'll look back over all the songs you've written and be like, oh, that's enough for an album, I guess. And I like these all. So I'll put them on one. And I think that's my like, I think I used to compare myself again to artists who seemed so methodical and like thought through, and like they're visionaries and everything came to them in a dream and in different colors that don't exist yet. All of that. I used to feel really jealous. But actually, the way that it works for me in the most honest way without being tampered with is sort of looking back and being like, oh, look, I wrote a bunch of songs about all those feelings. And putting it all together. The bit where I like to be methodical is kind of like track listing or like figuring out the arc of all of that. But that's kind of that. And then it was just like on my lap, and I loved it.
I love that. We're big track list, full album people.
Yeah.
Like I feel like albums and like full body of work is just like where we tend to geek out, because I think it's so interesting.
The thought of someone like finding an album for the first time and pressing shuffle, like actually
that gives me the heebie-jeebies. Yeah, I mean, I just grew up like with really specific albums on CD, or like it was mainly on CD, and you just used, like, I grew up knowing a whole album off by heart, as in the starting note of the next song, all of that. Like, it wasn't just one song, because it would just like play through. So I want to make the albums that people know the starting note of the next song before it's even started,
And now people are like actually adding transitions between it
and
everything. It's like, it's meant to be a whole thing.
Exactly.
It feels so like, how many times can we bring Ray up in this interview? But her new album, you physically can't shuffle it, because it just wouldn't.
No, and also there's like 2 songs in one song sometimes, and you're like, I kind of like the second one maybe a bit more, but let's go through the first one to get there, because you kind of have to earn it, which I really like.
Since listeners can't listen to your album yet, could you maybe transport them to the moment you were in when you were writing these songs then?
The moment I was in, I was like, this is all like throughout the journey, going from like falling properly in love for the first time in a long time. Like, I'd gotten out of a relationship and it was just like, I didn't think I was going to be in love again, classic. And then, and it's really romantic. I think I wrote a lot of it in a very like vulnerable, at times insecure, overthinking but in love place, like that kind of mania that happens to you when you're like, oh, I have so much at stake because of how much I love this person, how much I'm feeling. So it's really emotional and dramatic and cheeky and overthinking, and a lot of like, question and then resolve. It's like, I'm actually fine. I'm feeling really good about all of this. And then it's like, I'm absolutely devastated and I'm never going to recover. It's
right
those...
at the brink.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, that's so real though. Like, you're writing in a very real way.
Yeah, that's all. Like, I literally couldn't pretend.
It feels like all of your songwriting is just so raw. Like, it really puts the listener beside you rather than at a distance. It's kind of like they're in the room with you as everything's happening. What do you hope people are holding in their hands emotionally when they finish listening to My Man and Me?
I hope that the people, once they finish the album, I hope that they feel like, oh, everyone has these moments and everyone thinks the world's over and everyone thinks that they're never going to fall in love again, and actually I'm proof of someone who's just done that and then it's happened again and I've written another album about another person. I think the nice thing about the album is it's a kind of complete journey of like proving how elastic we are. We don't think we are as elastic as we are, but we just spring right back. We're born to be falling in and out of love, and that's fine. It's natural. So whatever like grief you're feeling or like mourning a relationship or whether you're in love, like it's about not being scared because you're just going to be fine and bounce back always.
Yeah. I love it. It makes me so excited.
Yeah.
And another kind of, I feel like we're almost forcing you to like breadcrumb the album as like everyone's eagerly awaiting. But also I love it when we get to ask people this. Is there a specific lyric that you're most proud of on the project?
Ooh, I don't know, because this is an interesting album for me because I was really less concentrated on lyrics than I have been before. I think I've tried to be like really clever before or whatever.
It's more story rather than...
Yeah, it's more story and it's more like music really. Yeah. Okay, so the opening bit of Resisting Your Love, which is one of the songs, it's really, really simple, but I just like how simple it is. What do I do with all the love I carry for you? Although there's bad, there's good in there too. So it's like, I don't know how to place it. Like, we're not together, but you're not a baddie. And so I'm going to have to rely on like willpower to get rid of this love or something, you know, that kind of feeling.
Very powerful. That's a very good choice. Not that I have anything to like really compare it to.
Well, no, I mean, like I used to be way more like poetic and like, you know, I used to wish you were mine. Now I just wish you the best. And it was like, smart. But now it's just about like nailing the feeling, I think.
Yeah. And it's project specific, right? Like from what you're describing, the project is so almost like realism.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes that can be watered down if you get too wrapped up in having everything feel really clever, whereas it would be more powerful if it is just that's exactly how it felt.
Yeah, exactly. It's like I try and think about like I'm way more influenced by the things I watch than the things I listen to when it comes to music. And like I was just watching loads of Sex and the City and Girls when they're like my two favorite shows.
I just finished Girls
for the first time
this week. I've watched it all in the last few weeks.
Oh my God, I'm so jealous. I wish I could. I think I've watched it like 9 times. Did you love it?
Yeah, and do you know what I've been
so
thinking
funny
this whole time is that your voice kind of sounds like a non-Americanized Jessa. Like, you sound like her.
Jemima Kirk, who I'm obsessed with, and that's thrilling. And I used to buy outfits to try and look like her when I was a teenager, because I watched that when I was like 15.
So maybe your voice is that voice.
Maybe it is. Maybe I've developed my whole thing from her. I don't know. It would surprise me. Exactly. Jess always comes fast. No, it's like the best show, and I think those shows are really good at like messiness of girls, recovery, the things we like put ourselves through to like figure out who we actually are and all of that, like trying on different personalities. I brought that into this album, so it's really influenced by those 2 shows of like messy girls landing on their feet and then making messes again and landing again.
Sex and the City always finds us at different points in our lives. Like, we've watched it quite a few times now, like beginning to end, and it will always be at key moments, just like accidentally. Like, it's not like some big thing happens and it's like, oh my God, we need to watch it.
No, there's no accidents. Your brain knows. Your brain like takes you. It's like, I know I'm sad if I find myself wanting to watch Call Me by Your Name. Like, if I'm like, oh, I fancy watching that, as it starts, I'm like, oh, you've got the blues and you need to cry. So like, I've like, my subconscious has put that film on. I think that's what happens with like Sex and the City. I think it is calling you when you watch it. It's always helpful.
Yeah, and that's what your project is becoming.
Hopefully.
I'm so excited.
Hopefully it's like the sound of one of Carrie Bradshaw's handbags, like a mess, loads of cigarettes hanging out and rollers and whatever. It's that.
And as you're saying this, I'm picturing like this is going to be really hard to convey it for the podcast because I don't know how much more content you've got coming out like this, but You in the Window, that is so Carrie Bradshaw.
Yeah, exactly.
And, like, I'm sorry if there's not more coming out and people are going to have to like scroll weeks to
Yeah,
see this, but it's
yeah.
the visuals are adding up.
Yeah. Do you know what I was just thinking? Is it literally the pilot episode where she's walking down the street and she like crashes into Big?
She drops her bag,
Your album falls out.
That's it. That's literally it. That's what I want. And I might even like make an edit of that because that was genius. That brilliant bit when they first see each other. And she turns around and does that little really cute trip. You remember she like sidesteps and trips. It's very great.
I think we need the fans to make all of the Sex and the City edits to this album. I think that's maybe the requirement. That's what I'm hearing.
Yeah. That's the repayment. Yeah, I want that.
Amazing. And finally, who would you like to nominate for tuning in? Who should we tune into next? So you can pick 1 or 2 female artists that
oh my God.
you're listening to, you're loving at the minute.
Can they be American? Actually, one of them lives here. I mean, I feel like they're not even up and coming. I think they're probably even like bigger than me, but they're 2 people I'm obsessed with and always have been. Devin Again is sick. I've loved her for years. And Lozique.
Oh, I love Lozique.
I love Lozique. Yes. And I just like listened to an old playlist and she like came back on it. It was like a song I hadn't heard in years called Used to You. And I adore that song. So those are my girlies.
She was on our very first list. Actually, I'd love to go back to at some point where we, when we first started tuning in, we wrote like 50 names, just like sat down and just spitballed. Like 50 female artists, like, this is everyone we're gonna get on. And I'm 100% sure she was on that. So too.
Yeah, she's just sick. She's very, very cool. I'm really into her music, and her lyrics are great.
Yeah,
it's just good pop. Like I love good pop.
She just does what she wants.
Yeah.
She does not care.
Yeah.
That's what the first second aunt could do with listening to.
So true. Yeah.
Circling back.
Yeah.
Amazing. Well, thanks so much for joining
Thank you so much.
So
yeah, thank you.
Amazing. Thanks for watching.
Bye.
Bye.